Hi, my name is John Biddle.
Hi, my name is Sam Biddle.
And welcome to the podcast.
I hate this book.
I read my book, The Harvester.
To me.
And yeah, we're nearly
his
there.
wife.
Yeah,
Sam. You were to say his wife.
My
you
wife.
missed the line.
Oh, is there a line now? Is there a line? I thought we said it.
37 No, I said to me, and you go, my wife.
My wife.
Sam Biddle.
Sam Biddle.
Well, we're 37 chapters in. You should have got it right by now.
Yeah, I know. And we're nearly there. I think we've only got 2 chapters. 2 chapters, tops. Maybe 3.
Last week you said...
I think it's 39 chapters, so...
You think?
I can't remember.
Last week you said, oh, this is going to be a really bad chapter. And then it finished, and then you went, oh, that's not the chapter I was thinking of.
I thought that was all one of the same.
So now we've actually got the bad bit of...
It's not bad, it's a good chapter.
In your opinion?
Yeah, it's an exciting chapter, yeah. In the thriller genre, it's an exciting chapter. Not necessarily in your genre.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the problem is with my books, no one lives happily ever after.
What, are we not going to have a happy ending?
No, there's not a great ending.
Is there not?
No, cliffhanger babes.
Oh, I thought we were not meant to have cliffhangers.
Well,
I think readers get annoyed with cliffhangers.
Yeah, but if they get annoyed with cliffhangers if there's no other book following immediately. There is a book following.
And how long did it take? How long did it take for your book to come out? Because I remember there was a few messages like, no.
There was a few messages like that. I did upset some readers. I did. What we call the trope of writing is that you are absolutely right. Is that you aren't supposed to leave your reader on a cliffhanger. You're supposed to give them closure to satisfy their whatever. It's called something. It's a French word. I've forgotten what it's called.
I mean, we should really Google it.
And so, like for example, in Star Wars, you have at the end of the film, you have where they all get a medal and everybody cheers them and stuff like that. That's called something.
But there is a cliffhanger. There is a lead up to the next book, isn't there?
Yeah, but mine is a proper 90-degree. What the fuck? I need to get the other book now.
Marketing 101.
Exactly. So when we get to the end of Harvester, we got to start hitting off. You're going to want to start hitting off straight away.
I am.
Pretty much, because that's where the ball starts rolling.
Okay.
You see.
And does your book start straight, like the next minute?
Yes, it does, literally.
Yeah, that's good, because I read a book. I've read a series of books recently, and the book ended similar to you, where it ended on a cliffhanger, but what am I talking about? It wasn't a book, it was a series. What were we watching? We were watching something, and it literally started like the next minute. The next series started the next minute.
What was that? I can't remember. Was it The Fall?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was because if you actually look at the timeline of The Fall,
it was ages.
The first series to the last episode in the last series, if you actually read the synopsis and the timeline is actually a month or something. It's like 2 months from the time that they registered as a serial killer to the time
yes.
he ends up in the mental asylum. The actual timeline's about 8 weeks.
Yes.
But that's actually, it's actually 5 years. In terms of production, it's 5 years.
It took us 5 years to get to it. Oh, it was 5 years, was it really?
Yeah, because I think it was 2011 and it was 2015 when the final episode.
Yeah, because when she goes back at the end to her apartment with the flowers, I mean, if it really was 5 years, the flowers wouldn't really be there, would they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because they were still alive, weren't they?
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
but she would have gone home every weekend. See, that's the way that's all lost in the narrative of the story, because you don't.
That's why she always had new clothes.
Because she would have finished work at 5 o'clock on Friday and gone home. She would have flown back to London.
Because I was like, how did you have? You've got different outfits. then it was purely fictional after.
Right, okay. So the equilibrium has been slightly shifted with the arrival of the dogs, our toddlers, our children. So they need to sniff everything because obviously it's not been sniffed in the last 40 minutes. Anyways, where are we? Hypnos. So cliffhangers, Hypnos and
Fall.
the Fall, yeah.
She goes home at the weekend.
Yeah, she would have gone home at the weekends. It would have been included in the contract, so she would have gone home at weekends. But that's the boring part of the narrative. And as a writer, I sit there and wonder, how would I have put that in? Maybe she should have been at home and got a phone call saying, shit, I've got to fly back. Bollocks. I was.
No, maybe he's watching her at the airport.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Or, yeah, no, that's a bit obvious, isn't it? But you to sort of get the humdrum of normal life involved, I would have had her sat in a deli on the King's Road.
But then
meeting a girlfriend.
One, that's expensive.
And then
to film.
Yeah, well, we had a budget.
Did he?
Well, Gillian Anderson and Jamie Dornan.
Well, he wasn't famous on the first one. He only became famous after the Grey. What is it?
50 Shades of Grey.
I still haven't watched that.
Do you know, that's not what made him famous.
He was in something else.
Yeah, well. he was in an Irish war film that came out in 2000 and I think it was 2013.
I saw him advertising something else as well,
which was way before 50 Shades.
Well, but he was only famous with women.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was him that was in 50 Shades. It's only one of my students told me that. So we are 2 chapters left to go on Harvester.
That's it. Yeah.
Are we going to have a holiday? No, we're not.
I think you're going to want to go straight into Hypnos.
Okay.
It's a bold statement. And Hypnos isn't as bad as this one.
Oh, it's not?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Just a couple of episodes, a couple of chapters that are a bit sort of tragic.
Oh, okay.
And bloodthirsty. So anyway, how's your week been?
Oh, well, you sounded like really... So anyway, how's your week been?
Well, how has it been?
It's been actually quite tough. I just realised something. Just need to switch my phone off. It's been quite tough actually. I had a big event on at the weekend, and then I think that created dis-ease within my spine. So I had a couple of really unproductive days, but I decided that when the pain settled in my bones, that was it for the rest of my life. And I think that's what happens, is that
there's a permanency.
Yeah, it happens and you're like, that's it now. What's the point? What's the point of me, blah, blah, blah. And I think I personally fight against it. I go, I can't be doing this anymore. I can't live like this. I can't rest every 5 seconds. And so then I don't, and then it gets even worse. So my lesson is just to fucking rest some. Just rest. Because actually, if you'd have just taken the afternoon off, you'd have been able to be more productive for a day. Extra day.
That's it.
But it's just remembering that.
For workaholic.
I don't think I am a really workaholic, really. I do like my rest. I like my job.
Yeah, I suppose it's a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah, I enjoy what I do. I mean, I sat today and I painted a horse out of inks.
That's not bad, sort of.
It's not a bad job.
Not a bad way to spend your day.
I know. So I think I've got a really good job, a very creative job. So no, I have had a good week eventually. But it took a bit to get there. But otherwise, I'm fine. What about your week?
Well, yeah, nights has been okay because we've sort of got rid of most of our COVID cases.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice.
It is nice, isn't it?
Going back to kind of some sense of normality, which I don't know what that is at the moment, because I'm a bit sort of cautious as to sort of celebrate about it.
Well,
I don't know. You know, you know, there's not enough of us that are vaccinated, and things seem to be opening quite quickly.
You admitted you've had your first podcast interview published today, and we've just been listening to it, and you said in the podcast interview that you are the world's, you would admit you are a pessimist. Pessimist.
I would say, yeah, I it's something that I do fight against.
So you look
my pessimism, but you know, it's we're not. I don't think we're out the woods yet.
Yes, but that's your pessimism.
Yeah, I suppose.
I know we're not going to go back to where we were, so we're only ever going to be better than we were.
For sure.
Yeah, but it's got to happen. I mean, it's not like we're coming out of lockdown tomorrow. We're coming out of lockdown. We've got another month yet. Nearly
2 weeks.
No, a month. 12th of March. 12th of April. Oh, for my industry, it's the 12th of April.
Well, we see the kids in 2 weeks.
We do! I can't wait. It's going to be so good.
I know, right?
I was speaking to my daughter, Devon. Did you know
her? Our daughter. I think I was there.
You weren't actually. This is a conversation I was having with her. And I said, oh, so we'll come down on the 29th. And she's like, what? Why? I said, we're coming down on the 29th. I said, we're just going to come down after work, come see you, and we'll go home again. Well, up. I mean, it's a 4 or 5 hour round trip. 6, probably 8 hours in total. Maybe it's a bit irresponsible to do that on a Monday night. Just thinking about it.
It'd be okay though. It'd be nice, especially if it's sunny. It'd be nice.
I've just realised I booked a live that night.
And also, you know, you've kind of not really been out since.
I haven't. No.
Since Christmas, really.
I've walked the dogs.
But you've not really sort of left. You've not gone more than 10 miles from home, really.
No.
Since Christmas, and you've certainly not been in some sort of structure other than the house.
It's because you keep me locked up in here, babe. You don't let me go anywhere.
I don't let you. Well, I don't let you go in anywhere.
I'm vaccinated now.
Yeah, but you're not quite vaccinated yet.
I will be on the 29th. But yeah, I'm vaccinated and I have freedom.
I have my second vaccination in 10 days. And then I am properly vaccinated.
We are those people. So it's funny. There's a lot of people out there that are like, what is anti-vax? And then obviously we've got the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers. And I still haven't had a definite reason why you wouldn't be vaccinated, other than the fact that it's not tested and that it's not tested, just like side effects.
But that is absolutely, now, you know, when you talk about the anti-vaxxers and the people that have this moral sort of interpretation or understanding of the vaccine and what it does to you, it's now effectively been tested in a global population.
We've tested it.
Because if you're going to have...
You're welcome.
If you're going to have any kind of adverse reactions, it's going to be within those first 30 days. Because anything after that has nothing to do with the vaccine, quite frankly.
No. But also, I mean, the other argument is to say that any side effects would be worse than the COVID. But for me, I think the reason why I've been vaccinated is so that I can, you know, I'm doing my part in a way, help stopping the spread. I mean, I guess that's it. You know, I don't believe that I've been vaccinated with some kind of chip from the government. I mean, there's all sorts of things out there. It's quite amazing, really. So, yeah.
It's actually quite stupid.
I'm very proud. I don't mind.
I think it's
I
great.
don't mind being a guinea pig. I feel... do you know what?
Blessed.
Yes, blessed that we could have it. My mum, when she first got her notification, she messaged me and called me, and she said, I'm so excited, I can't believe how excited I feel. And in a way, when I got my little text message, I'm like, oh, guess what happened, guess what's arrived. So yeah, in a way, you do feel a little bit, very lucky, really.
Somebody, my friend of mine, he's in the vaccine team in Salisbury, and one person said it's like winning the lottery. This little old lady said it's like winning the lottery. You know, she says, I'm very lucky to be where I live, and you know.
Yeah, I think living in England during this pandemic is like winning the lottery, I have to say. I absolutely feel for the people in America that, or all over the world, that don't have an NHS or some kind of health system, and I can't afford, if they're hit with the pandemic or they're hit with, you know, unemployment or support. I mean, we're just so lucky that we live in England and have been supported, regardless of what you think about the government, regardless of whether you think the support is there or not. So there. I mean, I know as a small business, you know, you didn't get any support, but as overall, I think, you know, we've pretty much as a nation been looked after far more than other nations.
Most, yeah.
You didn't get anything. You got taxed on your. What did you get? You got seven. You got.
I got
£3 an hour.
I got 80% of minimum wage, which the government thought I needed taxing on. So I was effectively earning, I think it worked out at £5.12 an hour.
I was lucky that we were able to keep running a business. You know, my business was that I was able to carry on running it, which meant that, you know, we could carry on living. Otherwise, there would have been a different story.
Yeah, struggle.
We might have been bitter.
Maybe.
But we didn't. We weren't. We were. I don't.
It's all good.
I feel lucky.
I feel lucky too. And that's not my pessimism.
Oh God, no. Your pessimism is that you worry that it will be, that you are calling in the fact that it's going to be a problem. You are probably going to be right, because every time you said it, it's been a problem. Or, you know, the numbers have gone up, but, you know, it's not your problem.
No, that's it. Yeah. So,
where did we end up?
They're on their way to Dorset, and the Dorset plot have got the barn and the house under surveillance. It's dark, and they're basically waiting for Alex and Renton to turn up so they can door knock the farm and hopefully arrest.
I remember brainstorming this with you. Do you know you're not allowed to say that anymore?
Why not?
Brainstorming. You're meant to say thought shower.
But you think that's something sexual.
I do. When I was doing my teacher training, we were talking about the fact that, you know, brainstorming and the correct words, politically correct words. I mean, God, when was this? This was years ago. And they said brainstorming wasn't allowed anymore because it intimated that you were having a brainstorm, which was kind of a mental health episode.
Like an epileptic fit or something.
So I said, well, what's the alternative? And they said thought shower. Oh my God. I absolutely could not stop giggling.
Did you
in class? I told them all, yes, of course.
Did you equate that to golden showers?
No, I didn't know, actually. I did not equate that to...
So what did you equate it to then?
I'm not telling you.
No, you have to now.
The other one.
What?
What are you looking at me like
what
that?
Other one?
I'm not telling you.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not telling you because it's rude, and it's rude. I actually didn't think of it as golden showers.
I can't think of anything else.
I'm not going to say anything.
Do you like verbally say something? Is that what it is?
No,
like
it's no. Huh? Verbal shower.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, you sort of like talk dirty or something like that. I don't know.
When have I ever given you a verbal shower? Shower. Honey, I'm just going to give you a verbal shower right now. Are you okay with that? No. There's the other thing.
Poo.
No!
What
no!
then?
No, I'm not. I'm not. If you don't know.
Thought shower. Thought shower.
No. No, nothing.
Brain
Shower. No, nothing. Shower. It's not. It wasn't the word. It was the action. The shower. It would. Stop, please don't stop now, because you'll have to edit this out, because this is really bad and I can't even. And now this is like the biggest cliffhanger ever, because they'll be like, "What was it?" Well, anyway, I thought in the classroom, and then I didn't tell them what I thought it was. I just said it was quite rude. I had this rude. No, actually, no, wait. Let me just wind up a second. I didn't actually think it was anything. I just thought it felt rude. Just made me giggle.
So for all these years, when you said that when you came home, because I remember you coming home and saying, you know, you can't say brainstorming anymore. You got to say this, and then you started laughing and it said it's rude. Well, I thought it was funny with you because I thought you meant golden showers.
Oh. Did you? What must you have thought of me to think that? I wouldn't have even had that come in my mind.
Really?
No.
Okay.
No. It just felt like it was a rudeness.
There was a rude connotation to it.
Yeah.
They hadn't thought about the underlying thing.
No. The whole classroom, like literally, and it's an adult learning situation. So I'm doing my teacher training. So potentially there are lots of other teachers in there, adult education, and they all literally just went.
What, you laughing?
I was laughing, and they were just looking at me because I just said, "Oh, that just sounds very rude," and they just like did not get it. No,
nothing. There was like tumbleweed.
Yeah, and I just couldn't stop laughing. I was laughing all the way home. Well, so yeah. So anyway, we were having a thought shower over this particular thing.
There was I had the same thing when I was doing my surgical assistant training, and I went to the Royal College and was doing laparoscopic basic laparoscopic skills and stuff. And there's a it's like a mannequin that's bent over a table.
Huh?
And then what you have is a screen, like a flat screen that's at the head. And what you do is you put your hand up its bottom so you can feel like the prostate and stuff. And it was literally full of like junior surgeons and stuff, and they're all very cerebral and very sort of thing. And I'm just like,
giggling in the corner.
Yes.
Why?
Because I could just take a photo right now, and that could be just a meme. I just thought it was funny.
It's the same way as you find farts funny.
Yeah, a lot of people do find. I'm not isolated. There's a lot of people that find farting funny.
Women don't find farts funny.
I know there are, for a fact, women that I work with that find farting funny.
Right. So just to qualify this, you work with medical professionals.
Mm-hmm. They're still women.
They're different.
How are they different? They are. They can be quite different.
There you go.
But it's quite acceptable to fart in front of my colleagues.
You fart at work?
Oh yeah. What you do is you go into the general theatre where they're doing bowel operations where it stinks, and you just break wind in there, and then you walk out, and they're like, "Oh, someone farted," because I think I might have ruptured the bowel. It's like.
I remember I went to work once, like I was waiting for you, so I was in the coffee room, and they all like everybody came around the corner and they were like looking. I'm like, I was the only one in there, otherwise I'd have thought they were looking at this celebrity that was in the corner, because they were literally all like just taking a nosy. You know when you just take a nosy at
Nosy
somebody.
motherfuckers.
So I was thinking, like, why? It was a bit unnerving. And then one of them came in and they said, "How do you do it?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, are you really married to him?" I'm like, "Yes." And he's, "Well, why? Why would you be married to him?"
I know.
And then they tell me all of these horrible stories that you do.
And none of them are true. None of them are true.
You don't do it at home. No. You don't. You used to try when we first got together when we were teenagers. You cottage doven me. What's that? Dutch doven?
I didn't cottage you.
What's cottage mean? What's that mean?
I didn't cottage you. Do you know what cottaging is?
No. What's the one with the quilt over
That's
the
Dutch
head?
oven.
Oh.
That's not cottaging.
Okay. Say cottaging. You cottage oven me.
That's a gay thing.
What's cottaging? Don't tell me what. I don't want to know. Stop. No, truly, stop.
It's not.
No. I don't want to know. Please, I don't want to know what I just said. No, because otherwise I will edit this and edit it out. Do not say anything. Stop.
I won't say anything.
Dutch oven.
But it's not disgusting.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what I just said. Dutch oven.
Dutch oven.
Where you fart under the bed covers.
Yes.
Oh,
Dutch
God,
oven.
for that. So yeah.
Not cottaging.
No, I don't know what that is, but no.
There was no plastic bag involved.
What is? No, don't tell me. I don't want to know what that is.
Because it's quite funny.
I don't want to know.
What?
How do you know?
Oh, it's well known. This is what George Michael got done for in LA. Cottaging.
Is that like asphyxiation?
No, it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. Cottaging came from back the Victorian times when homosexuality was illegal. So when men met in public toilets, a man would sit on the toilet, right, perform fellatio on another man, but the other man had his feet in a plastic bag, like a shopping bag. So it looked like. So when the police came along and looked under the thing, all they saw was one person.
Oh, I thought it was worse than that.
No, that's cottaging.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No, like what?
I'm definitely not going to
Thought showers.
Yeah, that was definitely a bad thought shower. I was really worried it would be something else.
No, it's not bad. No.
Okay, that's okay. That's interesting.
So anyway, should we go to the book?
Please, because
we are on.
It can't be any worse than this situation that I got myself into.
We're on chapter 37, and we need to finish before this runs out of battery because I've only got 14%.
Okay.
Like last time, can you remember?
Yep. Oh, I can't even take my light off.
It's all right, don't worry. So, chapter 37 of The Harvester. So, just to dial back, they're on their way to Dorset.
Yeah.
The Dorset police are waiting for them, and they're going to go to the house that's owned by Kevin Saunders, who's died.
Yeah.
Who they now know Del Broc has taken him as an alias.
Yeah.
All right. So, Renton pulled the car into the lay-by, the tyre scrunching off the loose stones. Lights off. There was a pause.
Lights off.
They switched lights off.
Right. Yeah, so Renton pulled the car into a lay-by, tyres scrunching on the loose stones. He switched the lights off.
I'm going to blame my editor for this. There was a pause, not a long pause. It was just a pause. Then the interior light of the front car came on. Knight stepped out. Remember Knight? He was leaning against the misogynist. Knight stepped out. He was wearing the same clothes he was wearing yesterday, but everything about him was a bit more tired. The view of the village skyline, some lights on, looked almost like a picture box. Picture box? It's a chocolate box, isn't it?
Yes. Your editor was shit.
That's why she got sacked. It was so quiet. You could understand the draw from the big city. Alex suddenly felt she had
a picture box.
Alex suddenly felt that she wanted, because it was an American editor. She was
likes
American.
a picture book.
Yeah, I don't think she knew what a picture box scene is. Chocolate box scene is, sort of thing. Because I suppose you'd have to experience it to know what it is. You would never experience a chocolate box scene in
America. No, no, you wouldn't. I guess.
Alex suddenly felt that she wanted to live here. Knight made his way to the rear door and opened it. Alex shifted and watched him get in. Alex, hi, he said. Nodded to the rearview mirror as Renton watched him climb into view, the car rocking on its springs. Steve, you well? Alex asked. She noted he wasn't as sharp looking. Bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, probably down to the enormous bollocking he had received today. Because remember, he had gone to the farm, and then he basically said that
he said that she was a bit of a looker.
Yeah, and there was no case to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. A bit embarrassed that you guys are back here. I've looked at the evidence, and can you accept my apologies?
No, we cannot.
Alex was taken aback.
What, did he apologise?
She glanced quickly at Renton, who was still eyeing him through the mirror. Don't worry about it, mate. We all make mistakes. You weren't to know. He shrugged and pulled his radio out. It squelched. Go ahead. I'm in the car. Heading to the farm now. Roger that. All call signs. This is Zero. Zero is the boss. So whoever is in the incident, Zero. Car approaching the farm as the target vehicle. Close the approaches. And the inner cordon team stand by for my command to move. All the radios squelched. Do you know what that means?
Squawked.
Yeah, so you get that. So
why did they say squelched?
Because it's actually in.
Is it not squawk?
No, it's squelch. It's called a squelch.
What's squawked come from then?
Oh, I don't know. I think that's CB talk. This is radio talk. Slightly different.
So do you actually say, "Oh, just squelched my radio"?
No, you squelch it. It makes the sound.
Yeah, but do you get taught that at school? That radio school?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you don't forget to squelch the radio.
You're on radio silence. You all you do is you press the pause and then release. The button you press to speak, you press it, pause, release, and that sends it down the radio.
I've heard that on. I've heard it. It's like diddly. It's not like that at all. It's like, I know I did it on the
newer
TV.
radios do that, but back in my day, my radios never did that.
Okay.
But the incident commander will know there may be, if there's 6 radios within the network, he will then wait. He'll wait for 6 squelches. Yeah.
Yep. Where is he?
Well, he'll be hiding somewhere. He'll be in the woods somewhere.
In a warm van.
In the warm van, yeah. In the incident controller vehicle. Just slightly.
Big blue van.
With a fucking kettle on. Microwave going with a pasty going rolling around inside it. Okay, Alex, let's do this. Renton engaged the gears and drove normally, just under the speed limit. Just past the garage, which is coming up on your right now. Indicate left. Renton did. He didn't need to be told to turn. The car entered the lane. Slow down, mate. Just to the right is a bridge. That's the entrance to the farm now. Renton clocked it, indicated and turned. They noticed a heavily armed police officer squatting by the wall, looking over the sights of his his .50 Barrett sniper rifle. Steve saw that the 2 in the front had clocked him. We saw what happened in London. We aren't taking any chances. Alex smiled. She looked at Knight in the back. Targets will fall when hit, she said. That's an army saying.
Is Knight in the army?
No, but what they've done is that they're not taking any chances. So there's armed officers everywhere looking at this farm, snipers, because they can't take any chances because they're dealing with somebody.
Yeah, but targets will fall when hit.
Yeah, it's an army saying. So like if
it's a bit obvious.
How do you mean?
Well, if you're hit, you're going to fall.
Exactly. So targets will fall when hit. So,
but why would she say that?
Because she's ex-military.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
It means that I suppose it just means that whenever a target comes into view, they're taking no chances. There's snipers out, so as soon as somebody comes out, they'll just shoot them.
I think I must be a bit dim today.
I don't think you are dim. I just don't think you are military orientated.
I got a product this week from a company, and I have a friend who is an ambassador for that product, And I decided to use it, and so I unscrewed the top. It was paint, and then I took the label off, the thing that, and then I screwed the top on. And it's one of those that you screw, and it opens the little hole. Well, I couldn't get it to work. Like I just couldn't get it to work. And she's like, no, and I'm like, what? Why do I stab the hole in there? And I just couldn't get it to work. And I messaged her. And she said, oh, take the little paper thing off and then screw it back on again and then just pop the lid off. I didn't even think about popping the lid off. Like, does that mean that I'm so close to 50 now? I'm seriously going senile. Like, I messaged her back and said, you are to tell no one. Like, no one. Not even asked, let alone that I couldn't do it. So that's why I'm asking you. I feel a little bit like I'm missing something.
I can beat that.
What did you do today?
Not today. It was a couple of years ago. It was about 10 years ago, and I was doing a big bowel operation. And there's this new product that come out called Flow Seal.
But you're looking at me as if I know what it is.
And basically, what it is like it's almost like your nail glue, but it comes in a spray form, and you spray it over the bowel. And any holes that are in there, it plugs the hole. It's quite clever stuff. But there's a certain way of making it, and it comes in like 3 different syringes, and you've got to like mix one syringe with the other syringe, and then put it into the bigger syringe, and then you stick a device on the end, and then the surgeon just sprays the inside like a watering can. Well, I had no training on this. And he says, I need the Flow Seal now. So my colleague went off to go and get it, and this is $5,000 a pop, right? So I was like looking. There was literally no instructions because it was quite.
Yeah, this came with no instructions.
It was quite a new product. So I was just looking at these, and I said, "Have you used this?" And she sort of shrugged, and I went, "Okay." So it was like syringe 1, syringe 2, syringe 3. So I'm just thinking 1's got to go into 2, 2's got to go into 3. So I got this pot, chucked 1 in there, chucked 2 in there, chucked 3 in there, and then mixed it up, and then gave it to the surgeon, and he was like. I suppose that'll work. Just throw it into the abdomen and swirled it around. He says, yeah, I suppose it'll work, and then sewed up.
So you should have put 1 and 2.
1 and 2 together, and then there's another agent in the third one, but it's a bigger syringe, and then you put 1 and 2 into that, and then you mix it. And it's
complicated.
It's quite complicated, yeah.
Huh.
But anyway,
yeah.
That was the same sort of thing. Anyway, here we go.
Remind me, you've got like the
No. There's no need. There's no need.
It's the longest ever one. I have to take it off.
You don't need to touch my eyebrows.
It is curling over.
Unless it's not that long.
Yeah, I only did it the other day. Look at that. It's like. Oh, it didn't work.
I felt that in my
rectum. It didn't even
rectum.
come out.
I felt that in my rectum.
I'm so getting it late.
Anyway, back to the book. They pulled up at the front of the house. Soft side lights on in the front room. The smell of a wood fire filling their noses. Alex was the first to get out. Do you want me to go first? Knight said. She kind of knows me. I don't think so, Alex said. We don't need any cooperation. People are being arrested tonight. We go in hard, she said as she tailed off towards the door. They climbed the 3 steps to the double wooden doors, Alex knocking hard. There was a sound behind the door. Steve reached his hand to the rear. You carrying? Renton asked. Yeah. He looked at the 2 of them, like I said. The bolts on the door slid, squeaked, and then the deadbolt went, and the door cracked open. The smell of sandalwood and clary sage filled their nose. Tonight's the Night by Rod Stewart was playing softly behind in the background, and a fresh-faced, attractive woman peered at them in surprise. You're fucking kidding me, Renton said, and pushed past Alex and forced the door open. What the fuck? She squealed, and then she realised she knew the towering police officer who stood over her. Well, Tracy Burgess, as I live and breathe, Renton said.
Wait. Okay, so it's been a while. So Renton...
he works Vice.
Oh, yeah. And they were chasing... Yeah, and he gave them lots of different names.
Yeah.
Yeah, for this girl. Okay, because he recognised her on the photo.
Yeah. Well, Tracy Burgess, I live and breathe, Renton said. Both Alex and Steve followed him, eyes searching the available spaces and beyond. You know each other? You know each other, Alex said, still searching shadows for her prey. Sure do, don't I, Tracy, hands on his hips, bearing down on the small frame woman. Tracy Burgess, a Tom from my past. She looked spooked. What are you doing here, she said. You told me your name was Carmen Saunders, Steve said, pulling his notebook out. It is, she replied. No, it isn't, Renton said. Last time I saw you, you were being shaken down at Euston Station for soliciting at the railway station. You bailed me out, she said, with a smile. And I changed my name to Carmen when I married my beau Kevin. Alex wandered off. Where is your... She stopped and turned. Beau.
Beau?
Beau.
Beau. Yeah, it was a question mark.
B-E-A-U, Beau, not B-O-W.
Yeah, but there's a question mark at the end.
Oh, I see, yeah. So have you got to say that differently because of the question mark? Different tone.
I think you have to go up.
Beau? Oh, I see, yeah.
Oh, where is your beau?
So where is your... She
Beau.
stopped and turned.
Beau?
He's away. Works for the military. And when he's back... And when is he back? Renton asked. He never goes for more than a week at a time. Have you got a warrant to be here? She asked.
Yeah, but she really knows it's true. I don't.
She does, but she doesn't quite know what she's doing. She said back in the She kind of knows, but she does. No one's ever told her.
But she knows him as Kevin, or as the other guy.
She knows him as Broc.
Oh, she knows him as Broc. Yes.
She's playing a part.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
So she does know.
But she doesn't know.
No. We do, and we need to speak with your husband as soon as. Like I said, he isn't here, and he hasn't been for a couple of days now. I asked you if you had a warrant. Alex went to the front room. We do, to search the entire property, which is another reason why we need to speak to your husband. The room was furnished immaculately. No expense was spared with the decor and the furniture. Alex wandered to the coffee table at the rear of the sumptuous 5-seater sofa, the kind of couch you wouldn't find in any business park next to a DIY store. They followed in. Alex picked up the wedding photo of Carmen and Kevin. Is this your husband? Alex asked. You have a warrant. You tell me.
Huh.
Carmen chided. Renton grabbed her by the hair, dragged her over to the picture.
Oh my God! I don't think he can do that. That's a bit wrong. That's not allowed.
That's not allowed. You're absolutely right.
Why would he do that? No, that's assault.
Alex was shocked.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But is she going to stop it? Why would he do that?
She went with it and showed the picture inches away from her face. Of course it is, she said, wincing. Renton let it go. Still a smooth bastard, Renton, she said. You know that Kevin isn't his real name, Carmen, or whatever your name is. For the right price, you can call me whatever you like, honey, she said seductively. Like before. There was a pause. Humour wasn't going to work. I know he changed it too, wanted to get away from the London scene. Is that what he told you? Alex asked. Carmen walked around the couch, took a seat and buried her face in her hands. She looked up at Alex and smiled tenderly. Alex walked the other way round and sat next to her. What's the deal here? Alex said, looking around. What do you mean? Carmen replied. This house, the name change, what's the goal here? I have a feeling you know what we're here for. It's all a convenient truth, right? Alex said, bearing into Carmen's soul. I guessed this day would come. She pulled a tissue from the ornate tissue box. She wiped her nose. Have you ever met him? Carmen asked. Nope, we haven't. Alex replied, trying to gauge Carmen. He's very persuasive, and for the record, I do love him. And what do you do here? Renton asked. He gave me a ticket out of the game. I took it with both hands. I don't know what...
She rolled over really fast.
Let's keep going. He gave me a ticket out of the game. I took it with both hands. I don't know what he does here. My job is to look after the house and make him happy, and when he comes home. It's a front, I know that, but it's not the real life I had. So how long has he been away? Alex had. He left the other day in a rush. Said he was off to London. I haven't heard from him since. Steve had left the house to speak with the gun teams outside. I can get him on the emergency phone. Maybe you can speak with him, she said. Alex thought fast. He's going to get to know very soon that the police are at the house. Okay, get him on the phone, Alex said.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because he's going to press a button.
She got up and went to the kitchen. Alex nodded to Renton. Keep your eyes on her, she said softly to Renton. Keep your eyes on her, she said softly. Renton nodded and moved himself to get a better view. How do you know her? Alex asked as she pulled her phone out. No messages from Ricky. She was a dolly mop, working my manor. That means prostitute.
Why do you call them a dolly mop?
It's a Cockney thing. She was high class though. Under the zookeeper, Alex asked. Yeah, definitely. And she's got prize. Yeah, I had her on a couple of charges. Renton saw that Alex was tapping into a phone. Tracy Burgess is her name. Full name, that is. I couldn't tell you her address. Cheers. Get everything on a Tom called Tracy Burgess. Renton had arrested her a couple of times. She's married to Broc. Dots. She's texting Ricky. He was reading and replied, WTH.
What the fuck?
She's coming back, Renton said, as he walked around the large couch and took a seat next to Alex. Carmen walked in holding the phone up, and she was on a video conversation with someone. Alex's heart quickened. She was on the phone to Broc. As Carmen walked in, both Renton and Alex were in conversation, pretending to ignore Carmen as she came in. Carmen skirted round the couch and stood in front of both of them, held up a 9mm pistol and fired. Renton's head snapped back.
Oh, wait. Hold on, wait. Say read that again? I didn't read.
She held up a 9mm.
So, hold on. Carmen
skirted round the couch and stood in front of both of them, held up a 9mm pistol and fired.
Oh.
Renton's head snapped back. Brain, blood and bones slammed against the expensive upholstery of the couch. He paused and then slumped face forward, hitting the ground with a sickening thump. His right leg kicking out as the involuntary nerves expended their contained energy. Alex shifted in her seat back, holding up her hands, the pistol now pointed at Alex, smoke coming out of the barrel, the side ejection port. She wanted to act but felt powerless. Alex could hear the voice on the phone screaming, shoot the fucking bitch.
Oh dear.
Broc was watching. Carmen, shoot that fucking whore. End of the road, darling, Carmen said. She put the pistol under her own chin. Alex jumped to try and stop her. It was too late. The report of the gun came and the top slide flicking, the spent casing out, the top of Carmen's head spattering on the ceiling. No, shouted Broc.
No! That's it, I was going to say. That was not a no.
The phone was tumbling out of her hand, Alex catching it and letting her fall to the floor, arterial spray jetting across the room.
So why didn't she kill Alex?
And into the fireplace, her legs jerking spasmodically with her hands coming up to her chin. The spark in her eye extinguishing as her heart stopped beating, the pool of blood spreading quickly across the floor. In the commotion, Alex didn't hear the front and back doors being smashed in, the tactical teams entering the property, the sound of the boots and equipment coming into focus. Alex raised the phone. She was looking directly at her prey. She felt nothing but contempt for him. You fucking bitch. Look what you've done, he said. He was puce with anger.
That's why he's so angry with her.
Stood up, screaming other obscenities that Alex chose not to hear. There was a pause. Have you quite finished? She asked. I haven't even started with you, he spat, saliva hanging from his mouth. You're finished, Broc. Your whole operation's finished. We have Ing's operation. Hema match, everything. You're done. You have no idea what you've started, Brown, he said. Alex was startled that he used her name. Yeah, that's right. He looked closer at the screen. I know everything about you. Your boring middle-class life, your husband who works for the Food Standards Agency, your children at university, everything. I don't respond well to threats, Broc. Typical bully. In the grand scheme of things, you're nothing. You might be in the south of France, sunning yourself. But trust me, it's a matter of time before I see your ass in bracelets. Preferably in the crosshairs of a rifle, Alex said. Broc was equally as startled when she mentioned the south of France. Broc held up the phone. See this, he said. The phone was held close to the camera. What is it, Alex said. It's a remote charge to the house you're in. You have under a minute to get out. It took a couple of seconds to realise what he had said, and then she heard it, the low whine, the subtle alarm. In the background, police officers were milling about. Get out, shouted Alex. The people in the living room stopped and stared at Alex. Bomb! That was all they needed to hear. The milling turned into urgency, the train men darting for the exits. Alex started to move Renton's prostrate body. One of the policemen saw her struggling. He stopped, vaulted the coffee table and couch, and just picked him up over his shoulder. Follow me, he shouted. Alex was the last person to leave the house, and when she heard it, the fizzing, as the valves holding the separated liquids positioned in the house cavity walls mixed. Everyone down the drive, shouted the team commander. Like ants in the dark coming from different directions, people ran down the bridge. Then the spark came and the intense heat and the fireball that engulfed the house.
He would have blown that house up anyway.
Alex stood on the road under a cool blue moon. Suddenly her face lit up as she felt the intense heat from the house and the fire that devoured it. She held up the phone and Broc was still there. You made it out, he said. Lucky you weren't sandwiched between the barn and the house. Alex thinking fast. The barn, she thought. It didn't go up. The barn didn't go up.
Right.
You thought the barn went up.
Oh, he thought the barn went up.
Yeah.
No, wait. Lucky you weren't
Sandwiched between the house and the barn. And then she realised the barn's not gone up. Only the house.
Was he not just...
She held up the phone. Fuck you, Broc. His face stony and expressionless as she hung up the line. He stood in Ing's office in the villa with his forearm. In a fit of rage, screamed and cleared and upturned the table. Fucking bitch, he screamed. Fucking hang up on me. Alex turned to the team commander. I just spoke to the target on the phone. He said I was lucky that we weren't sandwiched between the barn and the house. The team commander looked over her shoulder, looking at the house and the barn, the fire deepening the creases on his face. He frowned. The barn didn't go up at the same time, he said. Alex turned and faced the property. That's what I thought. Broc thinks the barn went up with the house. We need to get into that barn now.
But it might go up.
It may do. But it didn't.
Is it going to go up?
Oh.
Yeah, but the last conversation we had, like 10 years ago, when it went up. Did you change it?
Might have.
Does Lucy get saved?
Maybe.
Right, fuck you.
Who knows?
Ah.
Who knows?
So how many chapters have we got left?
Definitely 2.
Okay.
Well, it's 39 chapters, I think.
That was a good chapter.
Mm.
I didn't expect Renton to die.
I know, and I regretted it, killing him.
Oh, why?
Because it did.
Why? That was a bit of a shocker.
I know. Like, that, Devon, our daughter, phoned me. She said, you killed Renton!
But why?
I don't know why I did it.
But why did she get upset by killing Renton? He wasn't that great. Ricky, on the other hand, I'd have been upset.
Well, because she liked him. A lot of people like him as a character, and they would probably like to have seen him in the other book. But there's no room for him in the other book. In the other books, there's no room for him.
You're ruthless.
I know. That's not the only thing I've done. That I've regretted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you do regret.
Like, what were the other things?
Well, I can't tell you.
Huh?
Nothing like, you know.
Yeah, in the books.
No, nothing. Well, nothing that you. It's a spoiler if I tell you.
Oh, they've still got to get. Oh, the regrets have still got to
They're in
come.
the other books.
Oh, they're in the other books. Oh, does Alex die then?
No, I will categorically say that she will never die.
Okay.
She will always. She has to triumph.
What do you regret then? I want to know.
I
Please
can't tell you.
Just tell me a clue. See, you can't resist me.
Yeah, no, I'm going to.
Resist me?
Yeah.
You won't when we're offline. Okay.
Well, you have to have these things, don't you? Because you have to. Characters come to an end.
I guess.
They serve a purpose, and then they have to. They have to go, and you either kill them off or you retire them.
But could you not rewrite this if you regret it? No, like you say, he's got no room for you anyway. His
character's got no room in my other books.
No.
So I thought it would be better, and it wasn't until after I'd written Hypnos, I think, I kind of thought, well, maybe I should have kept him alive, so he probably could have come into origami at some point. But it's too late now. He's dead.
He can come back.
But
well, he doesn't have to die. He doesn't have to die. I mean, he could. If they got him out, so he could be sat in hospital and.
No, he's dead.
Oh.
No, he's definitely dead.
Oh, okay. Oh.
But he does come back though in Hypnos and in Origami and in Nano.
Winton?
Yeah.
As a ghost?
Not as a ghost, but his spirit. She feels his spirit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's unusual. Why would you have done that?
Because she's aware. She's an empath, so she's aware. So she feels his presence, and he's always there with her.
That's interesting. Okay.
So part of her intuition is he still is within the fabric of the story.
Oh, well, that's okay. Did you do that for Devon?
I kind of did actually after that conversation. So he's still alive, as it were, but just not in a material sense.
So he'll live forever.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. I think it's good.
Yeah, good. So only 2 more chapters to go.
Yeah.
And then we're there. We Hypnos. How did you find it?
That chapter was great.
I know it was. I enjoyed writing that chapter.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that was. I didn't see the Renton thing, which is great. It's like great. But I think Broc would have killed. I would have done the barn up anyway. Broc's attitude. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I didn't mean to yawn. Sorry.
Well, he's a narcissist, isn't he?
Yeah. So that really was strong. That was.
Yeah. How dare she hang up on me?
Yeah, that was. I don't know.
The fact that his.
I've only known covert narcissists.
The fact that he's blown his house up, his girlfriend's dead. He's been involved in sort of manipulating the death of a police officer, and he's actually more upset the fact that she hung up on him. Yeah. That is a classic narcissist.
And also the fact that Carmen actually had to call him and FaceTime him so he could watch.
But that was obviously part of the plan. But I think the hidden message in there is that she probably saw that this had to end for some reason.
So I would say self-preservation on her part. I mean, there is this. I'd like to believe that there is this thing with women that, we could have harm done on ourselves, but when you see another woman being harmed by the person I don't know. I'd like to think that we would. I don't actually know what I'm talking about because she was about to kill him, not her. She was about to kill Alex. She would never have done that.
But she got in the way of that. She stopped that.
That's what I mean. I'd like to think that women, there is that. I in my romanticism, I like to think that there is that thing.
Yeah.
What am I trying to say? That when you're with somebody, what is it when you're camaraderie? That's not what I'm trying to say at all. What's the word?
I'm not sure.
Oh my god. The word is it doesn't matter. You know what I mean.
It's late.
It's so late, and we have to eat dinner.
That's a bad thing.
What?
That's a bad thing.
That we have to eat dinner.
Yeah. Is it a bad thing?
No, I'm hungry. Once I eat, I'll be good as gold. My brain stops working when I haven't got food.
It's late in the day because I've been on nights and we got it's Mother's Day on Sunday, isn't it? So we've got to sort of cram in. I've got to edit tomorrow, so
We're coming early. It means I have to put makeup on again. I was going to have a morning day tomorrow.
I'm going to put makeup on tomorrow morning.
I thought you had makeup on now.
I've got a bit of foundation on.
Looks good.
Still a bit florid in the cheeks.
No, you're not. You're a healthy glow. I've got. Why are we doing this? Tomorrow morning we'll get up and we'll put our makeup on and we'll do it.
What, the mini-sode? Because you've got to record the mini-sode for John Wayne Gacy because we're putting that out tomorrow. John Wayne Gacy. So all the subscribers, New Killer of the Month is published tomorrow.
For the Criminal Club.
For the Criminal Club.
So if you are interested in a short story and are interested in a 12-month subscription to the Criminal Club, you can get it for just £2.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
or we decided, are we doing that? Are we doing this? 20 quid?
Or you can do an annual subscription, which is only one annual subscription for £20.
And you get them all, not sequentially over the course of the year, but
yes.
I'll just shut up.
Just shush, because my brain is lacking. Every minute we stay without food, I lose a brain cell. It's like I'm having a stroke.
Your face hasn't dropped yet.
I'm holding it up. Muscle memory.
Right, we'll bounce out. Anyway,
we shall.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you all next week for the second to last chapter, penultimate chapter of The Harvester.
Yeah.
And don't forget, don't judge a book by its cover.
Stay frosty.